All right, 8:33 this morning on Richmond's Morning News. This is News Radio WRVA. My name is Rich Herrera. This is the voice of Virginia. Now, I'll read the best text messages at 8:55, then at 9:05, or a little after that, we're going to go live with telephone calls here on the voice of Virginia, News Radio WRVA. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks to Vaughn for being here today as he celebrates an amazing victory by his Carolina Hurricanes, a.k.a. Hartford Whalers. We'll take it, right? It's all part of the lineage of the team.
And we celebrate it.
And you celebrate. You actually own that. You own that well. You really own that well. So I'm happy for you. Okay, so I'm going to be honest with you. Well, I'm always honest with you, but I'm just going to be transparent with you a little bit more. We're juggling right now because we're keeping an eye on all the breaking news that Donald Trump has come out and said that Iran has taken too long to negotiate and will pay the price. So we'll see what happens after yesterday with the drone attacking the U.S. helicopter. Now that he's gotten a firsthand report of what's really gone on, I think, and we talked about this earlier in the program, that he was between a rock and a hard place because there were conservatives that support the president that came out hard and flexed big, saying, Mr. President, enough is enough. It's time to end this thing. Liberals, on the other hand, have called this a war of choice and said, Donald Trump, you broke it, you bought it, you made your bed, now lie on it. So he was getting support from neither side. And now I think this will push him to re-engage. So we'll talk about that. And we're keeping an eye on all the different news sources. As soon as we hear something, we'll pass that along to you. The other big story that I wanted to touch on this morning, and I want to run something by you here in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Don't worry, I'm going to make all of this make sense to you. Graham Plattner, a name that has now become a household name for all the wrong reasons. He is a Senate candidate of the Democratic Party. He's the Democratic nominee as of this morning to become a member of the U.S. Senate. Now, I saw a couple different things. I didn't get a chance to grab the sound, but apparently there were some political operatives with some money behind them that were out there vetting, recruiting candidates to run for that Senate seat. And the two people that were there, and you've seen it, it's been on Newsmax, it's been on Fox News. I think maybe Dana might have run the audio as well. They kind of giggled and laughed. You guys, when you were vetting him, you didn't see the Nazi tattoo? I guess we missed that, was their reply. But it made me think of something. Okay, so since I've taken this job, I've been called lots of different things. And if I shared with you the text messages and emails I got, you'd shake your head. And I always know that I'm really onto something when the attacks are ad hominem and people attack me, not the ideas and not the views, points of views, or the facts that I'm dropping on you every morning. That's how you could tell somebody has nothing else to retort when they make it personal that way. Oh, you big fat, you know what? I need to bring this up with you this morning. And again, you can comment 833-804-1140. We can call in the next hour. For the Democratic Party, I want to talk to our listeners that are Democrats. Okay, if you're a Republican, you can eavesdrop in this conversation, but this is really directed to folks that are members of the Democratic Party. Now, I've got lots of friends. I got lots of family members that are members of the Democratic Party, proud Democrats. And I told you this, I've been a Republican my whole life, save for 2 weeks when I was trying to go out with a girl from the Young Democrats and I didn't know the difference. And when she said no, I quickly changed my party affiliation when I was 18 years old. But I've never seen the two parties so deeply divided and further apart. Now, there's always been the fringe left, the fringe right, but never have you seen two parties so separate. Ronald Reagan had a great line. I didn't leave the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party left me. And I want to ask you this morning, in all sincerity, and that this is not a gotcha question or anything else. If you're a Democrat, Do you look in the mirror and are you proud of your party affiliation this morning? I'm not, and please don't flip this around. Well, you tell me about Trump. This isn't about Trump. This is about you. If you're a Democrat this morning and you look at what happened yesterday in Maine, can you look yourself in the eye and say, this is still the party I support? This is the party I still vote for. This is the party I donate to. This is my party. Because the Democratic Party, because they want to get rid of Donald Trump so much that they were willing, 73% of people in Maine voted for this guy who I can give him a myriad of reasons why he's not fit to serve in the United States Senate. None of them are partisan. I'm not going to talk about his stances, and I'm not going to talk about his policy positions. I'm just going to say, if there's a guy with a SS concentration camp tattoo on his chest that he had for 20 years, is that someone that you would feel comfortable serving in the United States Senate? You have a guy that put his hands on his girlfriend and locked her in a room overnight, or one where he twisted her arm. Is that somebody you would be comfortable having in the U.S. Senate? Would you feel comfortable having him in your house, working with you, being around him? I would say no. But the people of Maine voted for him and pushed him out there, and he's now going to be your Senate candidate. If you're a Democrat, look around your party. Do you align with AOC and her Marxist ideas? Do you align with the Democratic Socialist Bernie Sanders in his Marxist ideas? Do you align with Graham Plattner, who sports a Nazi tattoo that, yeah, he covered it up. He tattooed over the top of it, but still there. And grabbed a girl he was dating, twisted her arm behind her back. Is that the kind of person that you want to see serve in the U.S. Senate? I can keep going down the line. If you're a Democrat today, is this the party that you first affiliated with 20, 30 years ago? Or has this party gone so far that you don't even recognize it right now? This party has gone so far to the left. I was on with Howard Gutman over the weekend. And Howard and I don't agree with a lot of things when it comes to policy. But Howard is concerned. You look at the Democratic Party, they become so anti-Semitic that there's no room in the Democratic Party for a lot of people of the Jewish faith. Is that the Democratic Party that you grew up with? I'm very interested to understand this. There were people in Maine that said, yeah, I know he's got a Nazi tattoo. I know he's got questionable, checkered history when it comes to women. I know some of the things that he's done and some of the things he said, but I'm still going to vote for him anyway because he's better than anything the Republicans have. It's not about voting against the Republicans. I want to know if this is something you believe in, you want to vote for. Because I honestly have to think there are some Democrats. Listen, hey, I know plenty of progressives out there like, absolutely, we haven't gone far left enough yet for them. But I wonder if there's others like, wait a minute, where am I? Do they feel like Ronald Reagan did back in the 60s when he left the Democratic Party he grew up with and became a Republican? Remember, Reagan was a lifelong Democrat. His family were lifelong Democrats. He saw where the Democrats were going when he was the president of the Screen Actors Guild, and he jumped back over to become a Republican when he said, these guys have gone so far over here, I'm going to come back over with these people. Are there Democrats that feel that way? I'd love to hear from you. We'll take telephone calls after the 9 o'clock hour, but text me right now. Let me know. 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140. If you're a Democrat, are you comfortable with the standard bearers of your party? This party has now been taken over by the Squad, by AOC, and by Bernie Sanders. And they've given you Zorhan Mamdani, where he's talking about seizing people's property. It's been taken over by the likes of Graham Plattner, who's now your standard bearer in Maine and is going to be your savior to wrestle the Senate away from the Republicans. Are you good with that? I'd love to hear from you right now. 833-804-1140. This is not about Republicans. We could have that conversation all day long about Republicans. You can ask me, do I like this guy? Do I like that guy? I'm just talking about you and your house. If you're a Democrat, can you really look yourself in the eye and go, I'm good with the direction our party's going? Or are you waking up, scratching your head going, what in the world are we thinking? 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140, the James River Air text line. Like I said,